Hello and welcome to Protect Your Data and Business with Dell Technologies, sponsored by Dell Expert Network. I'm your host, Kenna Johnson from the Channel Company. Dell is participating in Cybersecurity Awareness Month and wants to provide MSPs with security solutions for data protection and retrieval. Today we have Kevin McDonough, Advisory Systems Engineer, Cybersecurity and Compliance Practice at Dell Technologies. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you.
Segment 1, the challenge. Cyber attacks are the enemy of data-driven businesses. Cyber attacks continually expose businesses to compromised data. Why is it important to have a cyber resiliency strategy?
Data is the currency of the internet. It's the currency of the economy and a critical asset that we have to protect, keep confidential, and make available at a moment's notice. Today's global marketplace relies on constant flow of data across interconnected networks, and digital transformation efforts put more sensitive data at risk. So this makes your organization's data a very attractive and lucrative target for cybercriminals. So it's not a matter of if, but when an organization, and an organization of any size, will face a cyber attack. It's important because in many ways it's an existential scenario, meaning can your organization survive an attack without access to your primary, secondary, or disaster recovery data sets to perform a restore, or even worse, perform a rebuild?
How can MSPs protect their customers' critical data?
Awareness. Let your customers know that the threat is real, as I said before, and that they need to put a cyber resilience strategy in place immediately. The strategy will require defense in depth. That posture is there to reduce business risk caused by cyber attacks. They need to create more cyber resilient approach to data protection by modernizing and automating their recovery and business continuity strategies, and leverage the latest intelligent tools to detect and defend against cyber threats.
Segment 2, Dell PowerProtect Cyber Recovery. How does Dell PowerProtect solutions and services help MSPs provide the highest levels of protection?
The National Institute of Standards and Technologies, otherwise known as NIST, defines protection through its cybersecurity framework. The framework is made up of 5 different components: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. Organizations deploy multiple tools to help them identify threats, protect their data and infrastructure assets, and detect destructive behavior, but very few can survive an attack if the adversary successfully bypasses those defense mechanisms. Dell PowerProtect Cyber Recovery provides the tools to recover from an attack, essentially augmenting the edge and antivirus tools most organizations already have in place, and serves as the last line of defense against cyber attacks by providing isolation, immutability, and intelligence for an organization's most critical data.
What is Dell PowerProtect Cyber Recovery?
It basically provides a proven, modern, and intelligent protection scheme to isolate critical data, identify suspicious activity and sophisticated threats, and really it's there to accelerate data recovery, allowing you to quickly resume normal operations in response to a catastrophic cyber attack.
How does the Cyber Recovery Vault isolate critical data from ransomware and other threats?
To explain how the vault protects organizations' critical data, we often refer to what we call the 3 I's: isolation, immutability, and intelligence. For isolation, the components of the Cyber Recovery Data Vault must be physically and logically isolated from other corporate networks and components. Logical isolation has similarities to an air-gapped network, except that limited connectivity for data updates or data syncing is permitted on a regular basis, typically daily, so that the vault is essentially invisible to the corporate network, to the backup and recovery infrastructure, and to the DR components. Secondly, all the data must be locked in a manner that electronically prohibits deletion or changes to the data until the expiration of that locking period, which is usually between 14 and 30 days.
How does CyberSense help identify suspicious activity while protecting critical data?
That's the 3rd I, intelligence. That's where that comes into play. Data in the vault is analyzed and interrogated in a manner that ensures it has not been manipulated or corrupted, where the focus of both isolation and immutability is to protect anything copied into the vault. CyberSense validates that data was not corrupted before reaching the vault.
How does CyberSense help MSPs find the root of the problem?
PowerProtect Cyber Recovery is not meant to replace good security identification, protection, and detection tools. It's meant to complement and augment these security measures. So in doing so, it provides some unique advantages over tools that are used in the production environment. First, the analytics engine CyberSense, which we already talked about, creates a comprehensive index by performing a full content scan of all the critical data in the vault. Analytics are then performed on the data, looking over 200 statistics indicative of a cyber attack. Next, we use machine learning, which is trained on all Trojans and attack vectors, to interrogate the data to determine if any suspicious activity has been detected. If suspicious activity is detected, an alert is sent, and then post-attack forensics, which include detailed reports, listing of last good backup sets for rapid recovery, and other items from a forensic standpoint take place. So this process typically takes place on a daily basis after the data is replicated into the cyber vault.
What type of recovery and remediation does your solution offer?
Incident response and recovery options are really dependent upon the many factors, and particularly the event itself. Therefore, when companies are faced with an attack, recovery option flexibility is really paramount. It's important to note that there's a nuanced difference between recovery and restoring. Recovery entails rebuilding the destroyed platforms and infrastructure, then performing a restore. A restore itself is just performed when the infrastructure has not been damaged or destroyed. So the ultimate goal of Dell PowerProtect Cyber Recovery is to provide an organization with the quickest and most reliable path to recovery of their business critical systems. So it's critical to establish a cyber recovery plan as part of a formal cyber incident response plan, which typically is made up of elements such as preparation, detection and analysis, containment and eradication, the recovery itself, and then post-incident lessons learned. So based on the blast radius of the attack, PowerProtect Cyber Recovery provides workflows and tools to perform recovery after an incident using dynamic restore processes and your existing DR procedures. So at a high level, these options include reverse replication, targeted or automated recovery, instant access, and then the use of a clean room for comprehensive testing and restoration capabilities.
Segment 3, solution planning and design. What type of support do you offer MSPs to determine the right solutions for their customers?
We offer a full spectrum of support to help MSPs determine the right solutions, including workshops, advisory services, planning, design, deployment, incident response services, and more. Basically, we can provide white glove service to any MSP or meet them where they need us to be in terms of their own abilities.
How can we learn more?
If you're an MSP listening, to us today that either wants to strengthen your relationship with Dell or is interested in exploring more about our cyber recovery solution that we've been discussing today, you can reach out to our Dell Expert Network Program Manager, Alicia Bowling, directly, or visit the Dell Expert Network landing page to learn more.
Kevin, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you at home for watching. For the channel company, I'm Kenna Johnson.